This is at the return of Christ, right? And 1 Thessalonians 4:13 through 18.
Okay.
And would you mind turning there real quick?
No, I'm there. I may not have your translation in front of you, but I have it.
Okay. So, verse 13, but we do not want you to be uninformed, brethren, about those who are asleep. So those who died before, so that you will not grieve as do the rest who have no hope. So they must have been like, oh man, those either. I think it sounds like they thought like those who died before were not going to be resurrected. So
well, yeah.
So for if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep in Jesus. So here it sounds like God will bring those who have fallen asleep in verse 14.
Yes.
So if we believe that Jesus died, he was buried, and he rose again, the grave was empty. If we believe that, even so God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep in Jesus. For this we say to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord will not precede those who have fallen asleep. Now is this Lord, it says God will bring with him, is that talking about Yahweh? The Lord coming?
No, that's talking about Jesus Christ.
Well, it says, even so God will bring with him. So it sounds like God is coming.
Well, he has physically, Yahweh or Jehovah has never physically been on the earth. His son has. But when he died...
In Genesis, we heard the sound of you walking in the garden, so we hid ourselves. That wasn't God.
I don't want to confuse you, and I would like to check that out first, but what I should say is this, concerning these particular scriptures you talk about, Thessalonians. It says that, so when Jesus died, he was resurrected to heaven. Now, ultimately, where would he be situated as respect the creator of all things, Yahweh himself? Where would he be?
Yahweh is omnipresent, everywhere. Present.
Okay. So where would his son, Jesus, where would his son be in relation to him?
Everywhere present.
Okay.
His body.
Does the Bible say that he would be sitting on the throne to the right of his Father?
Yeah, he's seated at the right hand of the Father. And that means that his power is.
I don't want to take a chance of misleading you with with Genesis. I could be wrong, so I would like to research that first. But let's go to where Jesus is now sitting at the right hand of his Father. So when we go to chapter 21 of Revelation, and we're talking about, let me get Revelation up here. So in verse 3 of Revelation, oh no, let's go to verse 2. I'll give you a moment. And are you going to use your revised?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So I don't have revised. I
whichever one you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, whichever one. Okay. So, because I have multiple translations, but it just to show that there's harmony with them. We may not have a specific word, but we have harmony, and that's what we want to prove, that the Bible is harmonious from when Moses first wrote it down through when John wrote the book of Revelation, which would be the last book. But it says, in this translation, it says, I also saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from out of heaven from God, and prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So who is the bride? I mean, who is the bride here is one question, and who is the husband is another question. And then with that, I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, the tent of God is with mankind. So that would go back to, remember when they had the tabernacle?
The tabernacle, yeah.
Yeah, that was a tent.
Mm-hmm.
And he will reside with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the key point, and it's going to stump me right now, and I'm going to have to research it, because it is actually Jesus Christ who is on the earth, or I should say, actively acting in behalf of his Father, because all authority has been given him. And he will wipe out every tear from their eyes, and death will be no more. Neither will mourning, obviously mourning the dead, nor outcry nor pain be any more. The former things have passed away. So I have to do two things. I have to research Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, and I need to research this one so I don't confuse you or may lead you astray, which would be Revelation chapter 21.
So that means that Jesus is the tabernacle of God. Is that what?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? That's
yes.
Like in John 1, the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us, with us, or dwelt.
Yeah.
It's the same word. Jesus is the tabernacle of God. Is that what?
Yes.
What you're saying? That's
yes.
Like in John 1, the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us.
Yeah.
The same word. Jesus is the tabernacle of God. Is that what?
Yes.
What you're saying?
Yes.
Like in John 1, the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us.